want to encourage you to look back on YouTube or on the WhatsApp that I sent around to look at the videos that we did of the introduction. We did Middah 1, Middah 2, Middah 3. I don't know about you, but I'm a totally different person. I'm sure everybody is reading this and is going around in their lives and they see a situation and they say, Mikel Kamoicha, Noise Avoin, Over Al Pesha. And now we're up to L'She'eris Nachlasei, to the remnant of his Nachla, of his inheritance. HaKadosh Baruch Hu acts towards Bnei Yisrael in this way, saying, what shall I do with Klal Yisrael? They are my relatives, with whom I have a close relationship. Bnei Yisrael are like HaKadosh Baruch Hu's spouse. And furthermore, he calls them Biti, Achoisi, Imi. Calls them my daughter, my sister, my mother, as Chazal say. Furthermore, it says, Yisrael Am Kroivoi, my nation, Yisrael, the nation related to him. We are related to Hashem. Mamish kurva yesh lo yimahem uvanavhem. It's mamish that we are related to Hashem. It's an unbelievable zach. Chsiv Yisrael am kroivai. Mamish kurva yesh lo yimahem uvanavhem behainu l'she'eris nachlasai l'shoin she'er basar. B'soif soif hem nachlasai. So it says that we're actually related to him. We are his children. The pasuk says to the remnant of his inheritance, using the word she'eris, which also means close relative, she'er. In any event, the word does not lose its simple meaning. It means that we are his inheritance. What does Hashem say? If I punish them, their pain will be mine. As it says in the pasuk, B'chol tzarasam lo yitzar. In all of their suffering, means our suffering, Hashem suffers. People think, Nebuch, we grow up with this idea that Hashem is like this mean principle. And he likes getting you. Gotcha, I'm going to punish you. When we suffer, Hashem suffers. Isn't that amazing? It's an amazing thing because we're basar v'dam. So if you hurt your finger, how could Hashem hurt? No, he cares. He cares about our physical pain. He cares about our emotional pain. He really cares, and he hurts when we hurt. I'm thinking about it a little bit deeper. Sometimes we're puny little humans. We get offended. We get hurt for no reason. We don't see the big picture. We get insulted. Doesn't matter. Hashem doesn't say, if you would look at it the right way, it wouldn't hurt you. He hurts when we hurt. Because otherwise he would never hurt. If he's going to look at it from a himlech chazach, why should he ever hurt? And that's very interesting, because when you go to Gedolei Olam and you tell them your pain, they never tell you, you see, because you don't learn. Learn Torah and you'll become a Talmid Chacham, you wouldn't care so much. Become a tzaddik, it wouldn't bother you. They don't look down at people. They don't say, Vos machst den arish, you're wasting your time. They say, you're in pain. It hurts them that you're in pain. It really hurts them. They daven for us. Why don't they say, do tshuva, you're a lowlife? No. So the Gedolim go like Hashem, that he hurts when we hurt. Who are the people that when someone is in pain, they give them musar, on top of the pain, they give them musar? Small people. And they do it in the name of Hashem. Small people say, it's your fault, and don't be so small-minded, and you're thinking petty, and you're an addict, and you're this, and you're depressed, and anxiety, and they like blame you, Hashem doesn't do that. He hurts when we hurt. No matter why we hurt, he's hurting. B'chol tzarasam, b'chol tzarasam, b'chol. Lo yitzar, lo with a vav. Hashem feels our pain. The word loy in this verse is written with an aleph to teach us that their suffering reaches Pele Elyon, and all the more so do Partzufin. Now these are things that I don't understand. Okay, there's a little bit of Kabbalah over here. He was unable to endure the pain of Yisrael, it says in Shoftim, because Hashem cannot endure the pain and shame, since they are she'eris nachlasei. They are the remnant of his inheritance. We go way, way, way back, right? You see the Yidden from the Holocaust, the she'eris hapleta. We're all she'eris hapleta. We are the leftovers after Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov, and all of the gullus that we went through. Hashem feels for us. He says, look at these kids. These are the she'eris nachlasei. This is what's left over. Bottom line is, this is who he has. We're all he has. This is all you got. It's us and Hashem. And Hashem realizes that. He says, listen, this is all I have left. So therefore, kacha adam im chaveroi. One person, so too you with your friend, with another Jew. Kol Yisrael him she'er basar elu im elu. We are all relatives. Our souls are combined together. Haneshama is klulis yached. our souls are combined together. Every Jew has within himself a portion of another Yid's soul. And that is why the merit of a large gathering of people to do a mitzvah is incomparable, because our souls are combined. So they're like magnets of different pieces that they come together. We are all coming from one mikar. We're all connected. We're all connected, but we really are connected, right? Therefore, Chazal tell us that the first 10 people to arrive in Shul receive a reward equivalent to everyone who comes after them, even if they are 100. Gemara and Brachas. The number 100 was specifically used here, since each of the first 10 are included in one another. So therefore, they are 10 times 10, which equals 100. Each one of them includes 100. Thus, even if 100 come after, each of the first 10 already has a reward for all 100. And it's for this reason, if you want to know why do we say Yisrael arevim zelazeh? All of Yisrael are responsible for each other, because every Jew has within himself a portion of every other Jew. So when one person sins, he harms not only himself, but also the portion of a fellow Jew's soul included within him. Due to his shared soul, he is responsible for the other, thus they are like one flesh. That's why we should go ahead and we should seek the benefit of our fellow Jews. We should look that they should have toiv. They should have an ayin toiv. They should be pleased with our fellow success. Instead of saying, I'm jealous, or I'm looking down, and no, we should be really happy to see somebody else be successful at whatever it is that they're doing. Let his fellow's honor be as dear to him as his own, because we are in fact one and the same. And that's why love your neighbor as yourself. It is proper for one to seek the well-being of his fellow and never speak against him or desire his disparagement, just as HaKadosh Baruch Hu does not want to be disgraced or harmed, since we are his relatives. He too should never desire disgrace, pain, or failure to befall a fellow Yid. These things should affect him as if he were to suffer the same pain himself, or conversely, if he were to enjoy the same good fortune. That is the Middah of She'eres Nachlasai of Middah Daled. Definition of the attribute. A person might be offended or injured to the extent that he is sorely tested to restrain himself, to restrain his anger. Even after he has considered the first three attributes, he still cannot come to terms with the injustice perpetuated against him. We all remember the Jacoby family, right? And how rude the guy was, right? And still he thinks, you know what? I'm going to be a first Middah, second Middah, third Middah. And it's such an injustice. So such a person should consider that despite the injuries he received, the person who harmed him is still a Jew, and all Jews are like family to one another. He can have mercy and forgive the person who harmed him out of a sense of kinship. By doing so, he awakens Hashem's attribute of mercy expressed to the remnant of his inheritance, the She'eres Nachlasai, bringing that element of mercy into the world. And this is really, he ends with each Middah with these same words, which is so powerful. By doing so, which is going lamala miderech hatava. By doing so, we awaken Hashem's Middah of mercy to be used for everybody in the world. Practical example. A delivery truck pulled into the driveway and started unloading building supplies. Finally, the Jacoby's construction project was underway. They were extending their apartment. Now, they could host their next Sheva Brachas in their home. They wouldn't need to use the yard anymore. We remember how miserable it was in the yard. And all the neighbors, and breaking the fence, and the dirt and stuff. Listen to the last chapters, you'll really be able to see what kind of a disaster that was. Fine, so now they're extending their apartment. Construction projects are difficult, but living with a large family in a cramped apartment is even more difficult. The truck driver unloaded the new floor tiles in the building's lobby. The following morning, the construction workers would carry them up the stairs to the Jacoby's fourth floor apartment. Mr. Jacoby came home from work, walked into the building lobby, and was shocked to see his floor tiles smashed and scattered all over the lobby. What happened, he thought to himself. Who might have broken them? It must have been his son Moshe. He already heard Moshe brag to the neighbors about his imaginary position of project manager. Only I'm allowed to touch the building supplies, Moshe told people. Moshe imagined that he was some kind of experienced worker who knew how to handle expensive supplies. He had probably tried to carry a heavy load of tiles up the stairs and drop them on the way. Mr. Jacoby was furious. He would teach Moshe a lesson once and for all. What business did he have taking things without permission and breaking them? He stomped up the first set of stairs, planning to give Moshe a punishment to remember. However, as he continued climbing one flight after another, it's a good thing he lived on the 4th floor, he started to cool down. Moshe was his son after all. How would he react to the punishment? Moshe had just been trying to help. He would probably be deeply offended and even cry. Mr. Jacoby imagined how this conversation would proceed, and he started to calm down. By the time he reached his front door, his compassion for his son had overcome his anger, and he was trying to think of a gentler way to make the point. The front door opened, and he walked in. "Hello," he called out to his dust-filled home. His wife came over to greet him. "Did you see that floor tiles arrive today?" "Yes, I saw them. I also saw the package of tiles that Moshe broke. How could he be so irresponsible? Where is he now? I want to have a word with him." Moshe, asked his wife. Moshe could not have broken anything. He came home right after school, and he hasn't been downstairs since the tiles arrived. He went to sleep early tonight, and he's in bed now. So who broke the tiles? "The neighbors also have children who know how to break tiles, not just us," said Mrs. Jacoby. Suddenly, Mr. Jacoby's anger started swelling up in his chest again. He was at a loss for words. What kind of chutzpah was this? How could they be so irresponsible? How could they be so thoughtless? Why did they let their children run around breaking other people's property? He had a mind to yell at them and warn them to be more careful. They had just acted like Moshe. Yes, precisely like Moshe. But when he thought that his own son Moshe had done it, he was able to overcome his anger. He could find a way to become more patient and understanding with his own son. But what about his neighbors? Were they not also children to their own parents? Were they not also patient and understanding of all the noise and disturbance involved in the renovations? Mr. Jacoby reconsidered. On the one hand, he could berate the neighbors' children and perhaps push the parents to pay. Had they been a part of his family, it would have been different, but who says it has to be different? The next day, the construction workers would carry the remaining tiles up the stairs, but not only would the tiles be lifted up, Mr. Jacoby would also be uplifted, because he had managed to conquer his anger by realizing that we are all family, we are all siblings, and Hashem is the Father of us all. When people are sensitive to one another's plight, with a feeling that we are like family, and that the other person's joy is our joy, and that the other person's pain is our pain, it opens a tziner. Hashem has mercy on us out of the aspect of familial relation, so to speak, that Hashem has with us. Very nice. It's very easy to talk about, and it's very hard to do, because it feels like we're being taken advantage of, and we have a score to settle, and it's not right. We have to look at all these situations that Hashem is giving us a chance to open up a shefa. He wants to give us extra. And by going ahead and using these middas, it's allowing us to have extra shefa.